It's Friday, August 22nd. In the headlines, general election debates set for Saturday, August 23. Jamaica Labour Party to present I Choose Jamaica manifesto at mass rally in St. James. People's National Party President Mark Golding lists past achievements and plans for the future if elected. Regionally, Barbados to be a cultural hub during Carifesta 15. And in sports, veteran sprinter Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price to compete at Brussels Diamond League today. This is the Weekend News on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The Jamaica Labour Party will officially unveil its manifesto this Sunday in Montego Bay, St. James, marking a first for the party as it shifts its traditional launch outside of Kingston. The announcement came at a press conference Thursday afternoon. The governing party says its manifesto, titled I Choose Jamaica, the Next Chapter, will be presented at a mass rally in Sam Sharp Square. Chair of the Manifesto and Achievements Committee, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, says the launch will be done in a new and creative way.
And it is for this reason that I Choose Jamaica, the Next Chapter, will be launched for the first time out of Kingston. No manifesto has ever been launched outside of Kingston, nor has one ever been launched at a mass rally, and it will be launched at Sam Sharp Square at our mass rally on Sunday the 24th at 4 p.m. So we really want to encourage you to come out. We want to see you there. We think we'll have an exciting presentation for you.
The announcement follows public calls for the JLP's manifesto after it earlier released an achievements booklet. The opposition People's National Party, PNP, launched its manifesto on August 12. But Johnson-Smith says the JLP wanted an event that was more open and people-centered.
We had said before that we wanted to make sure that in the same innovative way that we launched our achievements, bringing it to the people, not a closed-door room with, men in gray suits and that, are limited into hotel access, but one which widely engaged with people who might not normally engage with the political process and beyond. Taking it out of Kingston was also very important to us because you always hear in rural Jamaica that Kingston is not Jamaica. There's always an interest in us making sure that policies go beyond the urban.
Mrs. Johnson-Smith shares that the manifesto includes accessibility features for the visually impaired, colorblind, and those with dyslexia.
Whether you are actually blind and therefore need an audio component, or you're colorblind and therefore need an adjustment of the colors, all of that happens automatically once you click on the accessibility feature that allows you to then have the adjustments. If you are dyslexic and your reading is therefore has a different type of challenge, you can click on the dyslexia button and it will ensure that the books present themselves in a way that where the words present themselves in an easy format for you to read, digest, and enjoy.
Adding his voice, campaign chairman Dr. Christopher Tufton says Sunday's rally marks a new phase in the JLP's campaign with special focus on candidates in Western Jamaica.
So we anticipate a good day on Sunday, as we did in Halfway Tree. We will focus on Western Jamaica, not all island as we did in Halfway Tree, and there'll be a range of speakers, of course headlined by the party leader and Prime Minister, the most Honorable Dr. Andrew Holness. So we invite the public to tune in on various platforms, including social media, but also mainstream media, for that event.
Sunday's manifesto launch will be closely watched as both major parties step up their campaign activities in the lead-up to the polls on September 3. Opposition leader Mark Golding has dismissed claims that the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, rescued the Jamaican economy, asserting instead that significant progress was made under the previous People's National Party administration. Speaking during a tour of central Westmoreland on Wednesday afternoon, Mr. Golding emphasized that the foundation for the country's current economic performance was laid by the PNP.
We have to mash down that lie. It's the People's National Party and the Portia Sinsemilla and Peter Rich who did the hard work. And I was Minister of Justice, passing the necessary laws on Jamaica to make it happen.
On the matter of educational development, Mr. Golding says the issues of literacy and absenteeism will be addressed if his party is elected to govern the country.
The next PNP government is going to deal with the real serious issues affecting the country. We see the education underperforming, and we see absenteeism from school as one of the major causes why the primary school children only have a 30% or 30% of our children leaving primary school cannot read and write, cannot do basic arithmetic. So we're going to have the EASE program to ensure every child who needs it gets help with a hot, nutritious meal at school every day. But every primary or secondary school, it can't be delivered that.
Mr. Golding's comments come as both major political parties ramp up their outreach ahead of the September 3 general elections, with economic stewardship emerging as a key campaign issue. The Jamaica Debates Commission, JDC, has announced that in addition to a team format for the election debate, the opening statements will be abandoned in favor of more questions from the panelists. The change was announced at a press conference this week by JDC Chairman Brian Schmidt.
And we do this in an effort to improve the viewing and listening experience for the public and to increase the audience that watches and listens to the debates. This is guided by data from our standard post-debate research. What we have found is that respondents have said that they want more questions asked and answered. So for the first time, we have dropped the opening statements in the debates to facilitate more questions and answers.
This year, the first debate will focus on social issues, and it will be moderated by Janella Precious, with questions coming from Natalie Campbell and Ramardo Lyons.
The debate covers specific thematic areas. These themes are suggestions or guidelines, and our questioners are absolutely free to create their own questions. And let me reiterate, the JDC plays no part in the creation or composition of the questions, and we have no idea what the questions are that the questioners will come with, and we learn them at the same time as the public.
The debate on economy would be the second of the series of 3 debates to be held on August 23, 26, and 28. The debates, which will be staged at the Creative Production and Training Center in Kingston, will be broadcast live on radio and television. They will be streamed as well. Saturday's debate is set to begin at 9 p.m. As Jamaica prepares for elections on September 3, employers are reminded that under the Representation of the People Act, employees working a standard 8-hour shift between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. must be given up to 3 hours off to vote. Director of Elections Glasspool Brown says all voters in line by closing time will be allowed to vote. Citizens are encouraged to vote at convenient times to reduce crowding. The historic Rockfort Mineral Bath is set to reopen its doors today, August 22, marking the completion of Phase 1 renovations under a major public-private partnership between the Jamaica National Heritage Trust and Carib Cement. The reopening is a significant milestone for the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. The revival of the mineral bath follows the signing of a 25-year lease agreement in 2024 that allows Carib Cement to manage, operate and invest in the facility. Under the terms of the agreement, the company has committed to investing 57 million Jamaican dollars over 5 years to modernize and enhance the site. The Rockfort Mineral Bath, known for its reputed healing and therapeutic properties, is expected to draw both Jamaicans and international visitors. As part of the reopening, Carib Cement has announced new admission rates: $500 for children aged 4 to 12 and seniors aged 55 and over, $700 for adults. The site is expected to play a central role in revitalizing community engagement, promoting wellness tourism, and boosting economic activity in the surrounding area. British Airways will add a 4th weekly flight between London Gatwick and Kingston, Jamaica, starting April 4, 2026. The new Saturday service will enhance existing flights on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, offering greater flexibility for travelers and the Jamaican diaspora. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett and Director of Tourism Donovan White welcomed the move, citing its benefits for tourism, trade, cultural exchange, and economic growth. The added flight is expected to boost visitor arrivals and support Jamaica's broader developmental goals. Your vote makes a difference. In the 2020 general elections, the overall voter turnout was approximately 37%, compared to 48.37% in the 2016 general election. This highlights a significant decrease. Our reporter Chanel Matthews took to the streets to find out what some Jamaicans think is the source of the problem.
I am Chanel Matthews, your host, and this is Unfiltered. Jamaica has a low voter turnout. What do you think is the source of this problem?
Yeah, so far the public get confused of the whole moral values of how the system conduct within the two party, and they all get fed up. That's why the reason why you have the low voter turnout.
The statistics based on my knowledge as it relates to persons being educated on how to vote, why to vote, or even where to vote, the marketing on that could have been improved on our politicians' part. I would definitely say if that improved, then public education and public knowledge on voting can be improved, and that would definitely, in my opinion, influence the numbers or influence persons to turn out to vote.
The source of the problem in Jamaica is education. Civics has been taken out of the schools, and so when you speak about the history of Jamaica in regards to voting and what our forefathers did, who died, our national hero who died as a result of getting us Jamaicans to vote, there is no sentiments attached anymore because we do not have that kind of knowledge, and it has not been passed to the younger generation, and because of this they have no interest whatsoever.
The low voter turnout is because they're not interested in what's going on. They're no longer interested in politics, where politics refers to what is going on in our country, how best it can enable us to get better access to things, resources that we need. So I think what needs to be done is the youths that don't know why they have to vote should be educated to tell them that it's not about gang violence or political affiliation. It's about the stuff that the country needs to vote, whether the road gets fixed, whether a new policy is put in place. They don't understand that it can better the country.
Most of the people must sell them vote. Them say them not get them from politicians, that's why they don't want to vote. But me vote still. Me vote because me from me little bit, I see my mother and father and granny them a vote. But me vote, but most people sell them vote. Them say them not getting from politicians, so they're not interested for vote. But me vote.
Several companies on the Jamaica Stock Exchange have released their financial results for investors to review. Sagicor Select Funds Limited, Manufacturing and Distribution, unaudited financials for the 6 months ended June 30, 2025, reports 6 months net loss of $81.06 million. 138 Student Living Limited, unaudited financials for the 9 months ended June 30, reports a 31% in 9-month net profit. Access Financial Limited's unaudited financials for the first quarter ended June 30, 2025, reports a 34% in the first quarter net profit. Spur Tree Spices Jamaica Limited's unaudited financials for the 6 months ended June 30, 2025, reports a 41% 6-month net profit. JMB Group Limited's unaudited financials for the first quarter ended June 30, 2025, reports first quarter net loss of $686.39 million. Let's take a look at the market highlights with Denise Williams.
For the trading period ending August 22, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 4,574,913 units traded, representing 21.82% of market sales volume. Medical Supplies Distributor R.A. Williams Distributors Limited with 3,142,101 units traded, representing 14.98% of market sales volume. Gaming and entertainment firm Supreme Ventures Limited with 2,613,002 units traded, representing 12.46% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On August 22, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $77.84 million purchased and US $66.20 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.25 per dollar, selling the US at $160.59 and buying the US at $159.34. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $6.43 per transaction, with selling at $118.42 and buying at $111.99. The British pound yielded Forex traders $3.42 in profits, with selling at $217.41 and buying at $213.99. For our credit report tip of the day, ever feel like banks only say yes to people with spotless credit? You're not alone. Small business owners with scores under 600 often wonder if it's even worth applying for loans, credit cards, or lines of credit. The reality is, lenders want to see more than just your score. They want to see your strategy, and that's where you can take control. Now, when you're building something from nothing and moving from recovery to resilience and beyond, the pause is your power. For professional women over 45, the slow season offers a rare opportunity to step back, realign, and design wealth strategies that take you beyond recovery and into resilience. Here are some ideas. Write down 3 income streams to build this year. Network strategically for collaborations and rest, because energy is also capital. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. See you soon.
In regional news, Barbados is turning into the cultural hub of the Caribbean as final preparations are underway for CariFesta 15. With the opening set for today, August 22, the island is promising one of the most vibrant celebrations in the festival's history. Deanza Roberts tells us more.
With culture, shopping and entertainment all rolled into one, Bridgetown is expected to be buzzing when CariFesta 15 officially begins in just a few hours. A partnership between the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the BCCI, and the National Cultural Foundation, organizers of CariFesta 15, will open doors for businesses to showcase products and shoppers to grab at special offers and giveaways. BCCI Senior Vice President Paul Ashby says this initiative cements their support for culture.
This is a special time for the Barbados Chamber of Commerce because indeed we are celebrating 200 years of existence, and 200 years is not a short time. The Chamber has actively, over the years, participated and supported craft and culture in Barbados. And I should say at this time that during our 200th anniversary celebration in September 20th, we are going to be having a bicentennial ball where we will be showcasing a lot of the great arts of and artists of Barbados at that ball. And we will also be showcasing special designers of Barbados at that ball as well.
Chair of the Bridgetown Revitalization Committee, Eddie Abed, says this augurs well for the business sector and the entire community. He says the offerings from members will be many.
Specifically on the 23rd and the 30th, I'm looking at the offerings from many of our members and independent retailers and merchants in the city. And it ranges from jewelry to garments. I'm seeing here that we have footwear. We also have the banks have gotten involved. The credit union are offering specials. I see Flo, who is also a sponsor, offering some specials. And these specials range between, I would say, no less than about 10 or 15% up to as much as 50%.
Artistic lead for CariFesta, Michelle Cox, says the partnership is exceptional and will bring together the best of arts, culture and commerce.
We are welcoming all of our CariFesta delegates and locals alike to join us in the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Bridgetown as we celebrate the cultural vibrancy but also the commerce in the city. Now, Bridgetown Days are about showcasing our capital city, and we want to bring everyone down to town. We're going to have fun. We are going to have fun in town, and who can complain if it's fun with a couple of sales attached? So we are going to be enjoying ourselves in Bridgetown, and there are going to be 2 days throughout the festival where we will have these special activities, and that's Saturday, August 23rd, and Saturday, August 30th.
Having the BCCI on board enhances CariFesta 15's significance as a national opportunity for business, for trade and economic growth, in addition to it showcasing the talent and skills of Caribbean creatives. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Antigua and Barbuda Health Ministry is set to engage the services of nurses from countries in Africa and Asia to provide a short-term fix for the shortage at Sir Lester Bird Medical Center. Officials say this is necessary while local nurses are being trained at the University of the West Indies Five Islands campus to permanently fill the roles. The announcement was made during a news conference at the ministry's headquarters in St. John's this week. Alicia George tells us more.
The Sir Lester Bird Medical Center is turning to overseas recruitment to ease Antigua and Barbuda's critical shortage of nurses. Medical Director Dr. Siobhan Bell-Jarvis says the hospital has cabinet approval to bring in nurses from countries including Ghana, India and the Philippines.
At the Five Islands campus for the University of the West Indies, that it does take 4 years to get your bachelor's in nursing. It therefore means that it will take some time to continually put out nurses. So therefore we have to look at how can we stop this immediate gap, and therefore structured recruitment is one of the ways that we can do so.
Dr. Bell-Jarvis says this recruitment drive is meant to fill a temporary gap, but in the long term, they want local talent to fill those spaces. The aim is to bridge immediate gaps in high-demand areas like the emergency room, intensive care, dialysis, and the operating theatre.
So we have opted to look at approaching this from a perspective of retention. So we're looking at how do we retain the nurses that we already have, how do we optimize conditions, how do we improve salaries, but we've also looked at how do we safely and appropriately and through a structured manner recruit nurses to fill the immediate gap.
At the same time, officials are working on retention with talks around better pay, safer work environments, and requiring nurses to serve in hospitals before moving into community care.
One of the things that we probably need to look at is having our nurses undergo a period of internship or a minimum amount of time that is spent within the hospital before they're allowed to go to community. That way we'll be able to bridge the gap whilst they get experience. So just like physicians, we have to do an internship period and you may have to work X amount of time before you go to community. The same thing we're thinking should apply to the nursing fraternity as well.
Elisha George for ABS News.
In sports, we lead off with athletics. Sprint legend Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the only athlete in history to win 5 world titles in the women's 100 meters, will be among 8 Jamaicans competing at the Brussels Wanda Diamond League meet today. This marks the 14th and final stop of the Diamond League series before the grand finals in Zurich, scheduled for August 27 and 28th. The Brussels meet is expected to feature several top-tier performances as athletes aim to secure qualification and momentum ahead of the Zurich showdown. We turn now to cricket. The Trinbago Knight Riders, stacked with some of the world's top T20 stars, have struggled to turn talent into trophies in recent seasons. Their last title came in 2020 with a runner-up finish in 2023. But with 4 championships, the most in CPL history. Captain Nicholas Puran says the team is ready to put past disappointments behind them and focus on reclaiming glory this season.
We did have a good campaign. I felt like to the back end of the camp for us, the momentum was in our favor, definitely. Look, it's unfortunate that the light cut off in that period of the game, but that one was painful. But I think over the last 2 seasons, we definitely grew as a group. It's the same group of guys. We know we haven't been successful in terms of winning a trophy, and that has been disappointing for us as a group. And obviously, the end goal is to lift that trophy. But again, things happen for a reason. It has brought us closer as a group as well, and we look forward to go there, giving us our best shot, and hopefully things can be in our favor this year. It has been passed on from Bravo to Paulie and then to myself. That's our group, and we play cricket similarly. We talk cricket every single day, and it's a wonderful opportunity for me to obviously lead TKR. Again, we have a lot of experienced players. We have some of the best T20 players in the world, and that hasn't come by guess. These guys have put in a lot of work over the years, and so it's truly a privilege for me. Again, I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel. We have been good in the last couple of seasons, and it's just for us to continue that growth and that direction, and one game at a time.
And that's it for the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBC Jamaica. And remember, we are the People's Station.